Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Today we've got 5 things Germans have that Americans have never seen, like myself. I'm an American. Okay, this channel is dedicated to Germany, so if you want to see more reactions like this, well, you know where to find it. All right, let's jump into it. 5 things Americans have never seen that Germans have. What is it, like a correctly cooked pretzel? Let's see.
Hi everyone, what is up? My name is Haley. Welcome to my YouTube
She talks really fast all of a sudden. One sec.
channel. If you did not know, now you do. Hey you guys,
Hello.
what's up? Happy Thursday, everyone. We're hoping that I can upload again for the 2nd time in a row.
She's kind of quiet. I'm going to turn her up a little bit for you guys, okay?
On the day that I'm saying I'm going to upload, hopefully. This video is going to be a follow-up video or like the counter video for my previous upload, which was 5 things that Americans have that Germans do not.
Ooh, I gotta watch that.
And this
Finally, something that might make me feel like better about myself.
video is going to be 5 things that Germans have that Americans do not. Not to say, as always, I have to put a little disclaimer because there's always going to be the few in the comment section that say, we have that, Haley. It's just because where you live.
Oh, I'm not in the comment section today, okay? We're responding in person. Well, as close to in person as we can.
It's just because of your age. It's
Yeah,
just
we've
because
got
you're
that.
a woman. There's so
Her
many
age.
people that
What is she, like 30?
are in my comment section that always tell me I'm wrong because there's a very rare occurrence of some of these things happening. Don't forget
Or maybe that's what they mean. Maybe she's so young she hasn't seen it in America.
to subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to write a comment in the comment section if you know any of these things, if you learned something new.
I'm ready.
Or if I missed something. So yeah, the first thing is going to be personal ID cards. And Americans watching this, you're probably thinking to yourself, what do you
I have a driver's license.
mean personal ID cards, Haley? We have ID cards in the United States as well. Yes, sort of. But in Germany, you are obligated / required to have an ID of some sort, usually in the form of a Personalausweis, so a personal ID card.
Here in America, you don't need an ID. You don't need one unless you're trying to vote or do anything with your life. Then you're going to need one. But technically, you don't need one.
Or a
not, like,
Reisepass,
illegal.
which is a passport. There is a gray area for a driver's license, but every time that I've asked someone if you can or cannot use your driver's license as a form of ID, some people say yes, some people say no. So before you people in the comment section
Interesting.
say, Haley, you're allowed to use your driver's license as ID in Germany, meh, meh, meh. I've asked before. And so in Germany, like I said, you're required to have an ID of some sort. In the United States, we don't have that requirement. Not to say that people don't have ID cards, because we usually use our driver's license as our IDs,
Yes.
but to have an actual plain
We do have like social security cards and birth certificates as the other 2 main forms of like identification.
ID isn't really that common, because also a lot of times when you have a driver's license, you have to surrender, you have to give up your ID card. But going back to the point of Americans not having ID cards, they don't have a driver's license, they don't have an ID card, they don't have a passport, they only have maybe a social security card or a birth certificate, and that's it.
Look at
Now,
that.
their lives are probably a little bit more difficult, or they might have, have to jump over a few hurdles, or they might incur a few consequences because of this, but they're perfectly legally in their right to do that.
Right.
Now, if you're driving a car,
But I do think you legally need a social security number, maybe. I don't really know.
if you're going to certain locations, going into certain buildings, you are usually required to have an ID. In Germany, a lot of people will carry, I believe, 2 different cards with them. I mean, do you have to? That's up for debate. But most of the people that I know have their Personalausweis and also their Führerschein, their driver's license, and they carry those things simultaneously. Not everyone, but most people that I know that drive carry both. And in the United States, if you have your driver's license,
Seems, I'm gonna be honest, that sounds a little potentially redundant. Like, do they say different things on them? Obviously, the driver's license has more information about, like, you know, that you're allowed to drive. But what's the ID card say that the driver's license doesn't?
you're usually pretty okay. Like, you don't need anything else. And when I was younger, I did have an ID
okay,
card.
got it.
Actually, I think when I was maybe 10 to 13, I don't remember what the reason was. I remember why I got it, you guys, actually. And it was when I was 13, and that was when my mom allowed me to go see movies by myself with my friends at the movie theater. And you had to be 13 years or older to see certain movies.
PG-13,
and so
yeah.
I needed my ID card, or I
That's
needed
funny.
an ID card to be able
I've
to go.
never met anyone 13 years old with an ID. And no one less than, I've never met someone under the age of 16 or 15 who has an ID.
Go see PG-13 movies with my friends. But when I got my driver's license, I had to turn it in, and then I got my, I think it was my driver's license or my driver's permit. And my ID card was basically, I don't know, shred up. I don't know what they did to it. Maybe they have a shrine for Haley Alexis at the Florida DMV. Never know. Next point. A
Maybe.
Getränkemarkt oder Getränkemärkte. So drink
What?
markets or drink market. In Germany, they have freestanding drink stores.
I was going to say, it's not free. There's no way you guys have free, like, universities and free drinks. Free beer? Oh my gosh.
Which sort of,
It's
in Germany,
freestanding.
they have freestanding drink stores.
Whatever that means.
Which sort of would sound like the equivalent in English to a liquor store
Yeah.
in the United States. But
Looks like a liquor store with a lot more liquor.
that is not what Getränkemärkte, Markt are. Everything
But there's like soda there.
that your heart desires regarding, you know, fluids, they will most likely have at a Getränkemarkt in Germany. And the difference between a liquor store is that, you know, the name, core difference, liquor is usually the main focus. I also have to point out something that I find to be really funny about Germany.
That is interesting. That is kind of funny. What? Interesting. I mean, the only real reason liquor stores are a thing is because it's the age requirement. You have to be 21 to buy liquor. So, I mean, I'm thinking about it. It still doesn't make. I mean, it's just like a more convenient way to get liquor than going to a grocery store.
Drink
Just because it's more convenient. I guess that's the same thing with the whatever she said. This drink store.
markets, and it's the expression and names that are associated with these markets.
Oh,
you can
great.
Really see
Thanks,
German
Windows.
humor coming out to shine here.
Are you serious? I'm trying to record a video, and Bill Gates is flashing pop-ups in my face. There's no way this is 2022, people.
Usually, but when it comes to the drink markets, I've seen some that are called
did she say?
to shine here usually. But when it comes to really see German humor coming out to shine here usually. But when it comes to the drink markets, I've seen some that are called like Schlürfy, which means like a slurping, like when you're, that's a Schlürfy. They have one, I think that's
Schlürfy.
called Bierkini, which is pretty funny. There is the Getränkequelle, which is called the Getränk or the drink source. There's a Getränke Oase, the oasis of drinks.
I like the Schlürpy.
There are some pretty humorous markets that I have seen here in Germany, and I just think it's cute. So the next point, which I technically should say points because it's a
I can't think of any cute drink stores in America. She's right.
multiple of things, and it is the strawberry, or it are. How do you? Ooh, it is. It's R. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling, y'all. Germany starts having these little strawberry huts popping up on the side of, I would say, country roads. So you're probably not gonna see one on
adorable.
the Autobahn. I mean, not to say never, never say never, because you might, but usually on back roads,
way.
you will find little strawberries popping up. And
What? Why strawberries? Why are you just selling strawberries? That's cool.
what can you buy at
Do
those
they have like a little banana hut next to it, like down the road? And then a little apple hut?
little strawberry huts? You guessed it, strawberries. I have been to a few of these huts though, and they
Strawberries
sell
are
different types
bomb,
of fruits, usually fruits, not
Oh,
vegetables.
different kinds, okay.
Different types of fruits that you can only get during the summertime. Germany is a very seasonal food location. I've talked about this before in a few of my videos. There are some things that you can get year round, but there are some items that you can't get year round.
That makes it more fun, in my opinion. You know, it makes you look forward to the season. That's what white girls here in America, they're all looking forward to fall every year for the pumpkin spice latte because it's seasonal.
round, which are strawberries, or if you can get strawberries year round, they're going to be extremely expensive and not the best consistency in my honest opinion. To sort of talk about something that is an equivalent or very similar to this in Florida, a lot of you guys always ask me for recommendations. Here's a recommendation if you go to Florida, y'all, and you're driving from the south of Florida on the west coast and you're driving
Oranges.
upwards to, let's say, Orlando or Tampa, and you're not taking the interstate, you're taking the back country roads. I always recommend that to people. I think it's a lot prettier to drive that route. So you're going, let's say, 41 or 75, you're getting off, going on to 80 or 81, then you're going to 27. Now, on, I think it's 80 or 81, I don't know exactly, you guys, there is this little guy that sells fruits and vegetables on the side of the road. The best
That guy's business is about to boom. There's gonna be people from Germany showing up at his shack every hour.
In the whole state of Florida, I will fight you guys. It is amazing. It is wonderful. It is delicious. And I know there are a lot of places like this, let's say in Florida, in the United States. So I think those would be our strawberry huts. They're just not as cute as strawberry huts.
We need to get on board with the strawberry hut.
Looks so freaking cute in human form. So the next point, you guys,
In
is
human form.
going to be something that every single foreigner that has ever come to Germany talks about, because it's not necessarily a concentrated Germany point, but it's very exaggerated in Germany, and it is the gym shoes versus outside shoes. I do think there are three major factors that influence this.
I don't even know what that really means. Those are the same. I mean, obviously, there's athletic shoes, sneakers, running shoes, these type of different things, golf shoes. But for the most part, running shoes, gym shoes, those are just, everyday shoes.
First one is society and upbringing. The second one is going to be fashion. And the third one is going to be infrastructure / driving. So in Germany, there are different shoes for different occasions of where you are at and what location you are in. You guys are probably thinking in the United States as well. True, but let's say that you are driving to the gym in the United States. A lot of times you're going to have on your full gym outfit. You're going to keep on the shoes that you wear in the car, and you're going to wear those to the gym. Germans, on the other hand,
you guys change your shoes?
Will not do that. They will change their shoes at the gym. Even if it looks like they have on sneakers and workout shoes, they will still change into their inside workout shoes. In Germany, a lot of times you're going to have to walk on sidewalks.
Is that like a cleanliness? Are they trying to not drag in dirt? Are you guys really that considerate? There's no way you're changing shoes from the same type of shoe to just a different pair.
Walk in the mud, in the dirt, through leaves, through branches, through grass, on public transportation. You have no idea what you're walking through. Or how do you say, the probability of you walking through nastiness is more likely in Germany than in the United States. Not to say that one is dirtier than the other. It's just you're spending a lot more time on your feet, in my opinion, in Germany than in the United States. And so that is the driving factor. Moving on to the fashion factor, because I think this is also something that is very different between the United States and Germany, is the simple fact that walking around and living your life in workout clothing is quite normal. Waking up, changing into leggings, a sports bra, sneakers, and a tank top, and wearing that from morning to night, and even wearing that to, let's say, dinner, that's common in the United States. And so moving on to society and upbringing.
I wonder if that's the same for men in Germany, that you change
an
that
early
much.
age, and I think this is the biggest, chunk of why this happens. In your house, you will get socks or shoes that you can wear instead of the shoes you wear outside. And moving on to
I just go in just my bare feet. I'm barefoot right now.
Here, you'll usually get slippers, house shoes, or stopping socks that you can wear in your daycare. And usually you'll come to the daycare, you'll change your shoes into your slippers. From your slippers, you'll change into your outside shoes, and then you'll go play outside. Then you'll come back to the daycare, you'll change back into your slippers, and then once it's time to go home, you'll take off your slippers and change into the shoes that you brought with you when you first got to the daycare. Some parents
That is a very interesting, cultural, just different way of being raised. We basically have shoes on or shoes off. That's it. And a lot of the times you just keep them on. Wherever you're at, same shoes all day, keep them on.
Their kids to use the same shoes, but it wasn't uncommon for parents to have an actual dedicated working out pair of shoes. Actually, I knew parents that would have the inside working out versus the outside working out pair of shoes, and then the shoes that they gave their kids to wear every day.
Shoes are expensive, dude. I'm not paying $90 for a pair of shoes to run on the treadmill and then another $90 to wear different shoes walking out. You guys, that is just the most considerate thing I've ever heard. You walk in across the pebbles on the parking lot and you change your shoes before going in the gym or in the locker room.
That were usually a lot nicer and
Wow.
cuter than the working out shoes. There would be kids with 4 or 5 different pairs of shoes that they had at daycare, you guys. It was mind-boggling to me. Then you go and get a little bit older and you start having PE classes, or you join a sports club or something like that. You are usually required to have different shoes, and if you don't have different shoes, you'll be required.
Now for sports, I mean, there are a lot of sports where wearing different shoes, whether it be golf, basketball, baseball, of course, soccer, cleats. Yeah, you're going to change your shoes into those, but those have like a different function.
Required to run barefoot, or you'll wear socks. And so this is just something that is very repetitious in Germany. It is engraved in people's brains. Even Mike, where he puts his shoes on and then he forgets something inside, and you can like literally see the invisible wall that he hits when he comes to the door and realizes that he has his shoes on. And he doesn't want to go through the door. It's like something's pulling him back and holding him back or preventing him from entering. And it's literally just his like internal, watchdog barking at him to take off his shoes. The last and final point, you guys, is going to be something that I think is pretty funny because of the backstory behind it. When I first got to Germany, I live in Bavaria. I have to emphasize this because it's a little bit more common in Bavaria than other parts of Germany. I came to houses, and all of the houses and even apartments had chalk on the door frame or above the door frame. And it
was that like a math problem? You had to solve that to get in the door? What American is going to be able to solve this? What does it even mean?
It's a weird magical equation, or like a Harry Potter. I don't know, something you would find in a Harry Potter book.
Oh, if you're a wizard, you solve the equation. You go through a portal.
I thought that all houses were getting the same construction work done at the same time, because it usually happened, I believe, after January 6th. Basically after Christmas this happened, and I'm like, does everyone know the same construction worker here? What is going on? Come to find out, the equation actually means, y'all, I'm trying my best here.
I feel like I'm learning like a secret, like a German secret. What is this?
Is the beginning of the year, or like the beginning of it's not a century, a millennium. We're in the 2000s, y'all. That's a millennium, right? 2000, and then the star is the Star of Bethlehem, and then you have the 3 crosses, which is the Trinity, so the Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. Then you have C and B, which a lot of people, there is a debate. I'm not here to debate with you guys. I'm just here to give both sides of the story. Some people say it means this word on the screen, which means bless this house. And other people say it means the 3 wise men, which is Casper, Melchior, Balthazar. And then the number at the end is the year that we are in.
Oh, 2022.
So 20 star C plus M plus B plus.
So it's the same. The middle part's always the same. It's just all the way on the ends is the year with all that stuff in the middle about the religious stuff.
22.
Interesting.
But in the United States, we don't really have this. There are some
we don't have that.
denominations. I believe it's a Catholic tradition, and so it's not that common to find it in the United States. What my mom
there's plenty of Catholics in the United States, millions.
Did, and I know a lot of other people that do this as
But
well
I've never
in the United
seen that.
States. When they build their home from the foundation ground up, before they put the cement down, there was like this foundation of rock that you could write on. And so my mom took a marker and she wrote her favorite Bible verse on the foundation of the house, and then the cement went on top.
I've never heard
and
that,
was
but
basically
that's
to
cool,
like
I guess.
solidify that this house is blessed, which I don't know what kind of blessing it is because there are a bunch of spiders in that home. It's the blessing
maybe it was a curse.
of arachnophobia for Haley. But I do feel like this is something that is very common in southern Germany, and you probably won't find it that often in the United States. Not to say that everyone in southern Germany is extremely religious, because that is not the case. I know a lot of people that do this that are not that religious.
Really?
Some people will yell at me in the comment section saying, you shouldn't do it if you're not religious. To each his own. To how people celebrate.
Don't yell at me, please.
And
I don't care if you do it or not.
religify themselves is like totally a personal thing, not me to judge or have a care in the world about that. So yeah, those were all the points, you guys. Hope you learned something.
Those were actually very interesting points that I've never... You know, most of these lists are very vague, like very common things. That was like... those are all fascinating. Very different little tiny things. You know, I like that. I need to watch more of those girls' videos. Go check out Haley Alexis. Yeah, that was super cool. Thank you for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I'm going to go change my shoes because I'm going to walk into the other room. And I hope you guys are here with me on the next video. You know, subscribe if you feel like it. But thank you for watching. Goodbye.